Bengals fans are amazing. They're resilient, they're tough, but they're fun. And I'm really excited to hopefully meet a lot more of you.
Isaac has the big game. Then we became a real balanced offense for the playoff run, which I thought was really important.
He put on the greatest route running exhibition I have ever seen in my life.
He was football 24/7, and that was the greatest part of Chad.
At times, the early part, I would tell him when we were throwing deep passes, I said, don't wait too long, because I'm going to get away. You ain't going to have the arm to get there. So, I want to run to the ball,
Well, Duke, looks like Duke's in the waiting room. I don't want to keep Duke waiting. He gave us a very limited amount of time. I know he's a busy man. Duke, what's going on, big dog? How you doing, buddy?
Jim, how are you, man? Thanks for having me on. Yeah,
Hey.
I'm real busy. I'm sitting on my porch.
Yeah, well, hey. Have a little drink going on there.
Joe Burrow has played in big games his entire life, and I would think he will be a steady hand at the bow of the ship. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if they take him all the way to the Super Bowl. I really wouldn't.
Welcome to the second half of the year, guys. Another episode of Talking Football with Bengal Jim and Friends. Guys, exact same time last year. We were 5-4 going into the break. We're exactly where we want to be. Last year, we killed it in the second half. It's exactly what we're going to do this year, guys. So real quick, before we get to a couple things here, we got the passing of the torch for Fan of the Year here from myself to Phil Amrein. We'll have him on about 8:15. Really good dude. You're going to love this guy. And we got a couple surprises for Phil I think everybody's going to enjoy. And I think he's in the waiting room right now kind of rolling his eyes like, what the hell are these guys getting ready to do to me? So we're going to have some fun with Phil. We got all kinds of stuff to get to on the Mark segment. We're going to talk about the charity stuff, our foaling tournament, all kinds of things. But guys, let's kick it off. Where's Jamie at, man? I know he's not feeling well, right, James?
God bless our neighbor to the north. He is under the weather. He had a heck of a party Sunday and just hasn't recovered. Actually, I think he had an event at his establishment, and unfortunately, he's under the weather. So we're thinking about him. We miss him. Mark's going to have to cut some sleeves off his shirt and fill the role of Jamie this week, right, Tom?
Mark's going to do a great job filling in. I mean, nobody can replace Jamie, but you can fill in. It's like, a backup on an NFL team. When the star goes out, you can't replace that superstar, but you hope for 1 or 2 weeks he can step in and help you win. And Mark's a winner, and he'll do a great job. But
you just compared Mark to backup quarterback, man. Oh, that's awesome. I see it.
I'll be Frank Reich. How about that? I'll lead a comeback.
Turk Schoner.
You don't even know who Turk is, man.
It's a little bit before my time, maybe.
I'm sorry, Tommy. I cut you off.
No, you're good. But big week coming up. Steeler week is always a big week. From the early 70s down at Spinney Field, 2 words, Steeler week, meant something. And I think it might even mean more now than it did back then. A lot more. There's a lot more scars, a lot more emotion. So this is a very big week and a game the Bengals really need to have. So we'll get into that as well.
Yeah.
Here's a comment from Tom, and Tony's out making his way back from Vegas. Had a photo shoot. So since this popped up on the screen, we certainly miss Tony as well. You want to touch on where Tony was, Jimmy?
Yeah, damn it, Tom. I was just getting ready to hit Tony right when Tom started talking. So Tony is out. Betfred flew him out to Vegas for a couple of days. He's doing some photo shoots. This is the one picture I'll share with you. I don't think we're 100% clear on exactly what the photo shoots are for, but Tony said he had some badass pictures. That was one of them that they took some very professional photos. So he's traveling. He's not going to be with us tonight. Tony had a long weekend. Tony and Carrie kind of facilitated that the foaling tournament we had. They worked their asses off Sunday. And then Monday he travels out to Vegas, and I think he's traveling back right now. So Tony's not going to be with us tonight. But we're missing Tony and we're missing Jamie tonight for sure. So speaking of that city near West Virginia, Tom, let's do it on this date in Cincinnati football history, brother. November 15th, 2009. What's the significance of that date?
One a really good season in Bengal history. A gut-wrenching, grounded-out type of season. Jeff Hobson calls this game the War of 1812. The Bengals beat the Steelers 18-12 up in the city where the Ohio River starts. Big play in that game was Bernard Scott with what did we say? It was over 90 yards, less than a touchdown return, big play, and a very young Michael Johnson harassing Ben Roethlisberger tirelessly the whole game. But, it went right down to the end. We had a defensive stand to keep the Steelers out of the end zone or getting close to the end zone. But, great memory, and hope we can relive one like that Sunday.
Yeah, it was James, you were at that game, right?
Yeah, as you can imagine, I was one of the few Bengals fans there that day, and needless to say, got the usual banter and expletives tossed at me throughout the game. But once we won, I mean, you could literally hear a pin drop walking out of that stadium. They were silent. The expletive stopped, and you would thought Tom was conducting a funeral. How quiet that place was walking out of then Heinz Field. So that was good. As I said, that was my one and only trip there. I'm undefeated. I may never go back and just have that memory forever. But big game coming up. A lot of people have thrown out the number that we have to get to 10 wins to make the playoffs, 10 wins to potentially win the division, maybe more. Not a beard. There's no beard. It's just a mustache.
Just the stash.
There are dozens
Ron Jeremy.
Dozens of comments about the porn stash, James. I just want to let you know.
Oh gosh. Well, our buddy Mon, chose that song the last home game. He was growing one, and I said I was going to grow one to compete with him, and here I am. So it'll be gone end of the month. It's just a little something different. Maybe we'll save that for charity too.
It's kind of like an evil combination of Aaron Rodgers and Ben Stiller from Happy Gilmore. The guy that was running the nursing home.
Oh gosh.
Let's get on a couple more things here real quick. Sitting near West Virginia, guys, if you guys are going to the game this weekend, it looks like a lot of us heading that way. We are not doing an official tailgate, although we'll be walking around visiting some friends' tailgates. Saturday night, we have not necessarily meet and greets, but it's a huge area, the Tequila Cowboy, which is kind of in between the baseball and football stadium there in the city near West Virginia. We'll be there probably about 5 or 6 o'clock. We'll be there all night. It's one of Tony's favorite places. They serve really good margaritas. So we will be there at the Tequila Cowboy Saturday night. So come join us, have some fun, and hang out with a ton of other Bengal fans that night as well.
Is this a country bar, Jimmy?
You know what, James? It is. I'll be the only non-country boot-wearing person there. I'm just saying.
Okay. I just, I complimented DJ Trub at the last tailgate as she was playing country music. When I would play country music or Mark would play country music, you'd yell at us. It's okay if DJ Trub does.
No, I talked to her about it, and she got docked a little pay, man.
Mark, would we not get yelled at if we even thought about spinning a country tune?
There's been a couple of expletives thrown our way.
You might be right, guys. You might be right.
You could always tell he would make a beeline for the DJ booth. You could just see his eyes.
Just to yell at us. Just to yell at us.
Blood in his eye.
Turn it off.
Just a little. Everybody's watching. It's a little exaggerated. I'm just saying, just a little. But let's talk about the charity here real quick. Guys. I can't get over this. This is where we're at after the charity event Sunday. Our goal for the entire year was $75,000. You guys raised $2,500 Sunday at the Fulling tournament. I want to thank again Carrie and Tony. They really worked hard getting those prize packs together and everything. So over $70,000 raised by you. And amazes me every time I see these numbers. Tony gave us the final update, I think, right before he hopped on the plane to head home to Cary today. But let's go through a couple quick pictures. So we had 30 teams entered Foaling tournament, and there was some really good games. I would like to congratulate our third place winners who won some Hendrickson signed jerseys there. Caleb and his buddy came in third. It was a battle to get to that third spot. Second place winners, I'm not sure their names, but they were like snipers. They were really good. And then these two clowns right here won the whole thing, and they're still talking trash today. So we have some very inappropriate team names up there. These are two of my sons right here, 21-year-old Cameron and 23-year-old Aaron. They were called the Free Ballers, James. Very inappropriate, but they won the tournament.
Were those special jerseys just for this Foaling tournament, or how did that come together?
They wear those for every year. They do. A bunch of their buddies go up to Coleraine High School and do a Turkey Bowl football game. Is what they do. So,
I think I read on social media they were supposed to report to Roger Goodell's office Monday morning for a drug test just to make sure everything was on the up and up. But do we get the results back from that yet?
It's not official yet. So we will not give them their prize winnings until the results come back from that. Everybody was asking for a drug test for those two. That's for sure.
What about the other great prizes? I think our buddy Devin Young donated some sneakers, and you want to talk about those?
Here's a picture. So basically what Tony was able to get Devin to do here, you can't see him real good here in this picture, but basically it was kind of a certificate, 2 pairs of shoes, one for each one of the guys who won, and they get to customize their own shoe however they want. So again, we appreciate Devin for taking care of our first place winners. That's a hell of a prize pack. They got some chains from Ron Boyle, customized chains from Ron Boyle, and they also got some shoes and a few other things as well. So a lot of people left out of there with something. We had like 30 pizzas. We had a bunch of Nothing But Cakes, Mary from Nothing But Cakes. Like to thank Joe and Joey from the Foaling Warehouse. Those guys are awesome to work with. And the League for Animal Welfare, $2,500. Tony will get that donated. We'll show some transparency on that here at some point this week.
Do me a favor, Jimmy. Pop that picture back up.
Which picture?
The last one you just popped up.
The boys?
Yeah, standing up. Nope. Keep going. Okay. So if you look at this picture, for those tuning in, that gentleman over to the left, that's Jimmy's bodyguard that's been around all year for Fan of the Year. He's going to be passing the torch to Phil. He'll be on in a little bit, but I don't know what you're going to do without the Bengal secret security all year, Jimmy, now that you're not going to have him anymore.
Yeah, it should be like former presidents. Don't they still get like security guards? I don't know, man.
Jimmy, there's nobody going to take pose a security threat, is there?
I can take care of myself. I'm not worried about it. I'm good. But
what are you, a brown belt?
I don't even know. But let's go ahead and get going here, guys. I would like to officially pass the torch here to Phil Amrein, the 2022 Cincinnati Bengal Fan of the Year. We'll bring him on here just a second. Guys, I've known Phil. We've had some beers together over the years, but we probably haven't spent a whole lot of time together. But away games, I think last year at the Baltimore game, Phil and dozens of other Bengal fans met us at the Pickle, which is a bar pretty close to the Ravens. I know I had some beers in there with him then. Look, this guy is a diehard, and I know there was all kinds of drama, people positioning jockey and try to get Fan of the Year and doing things. What I love about this dude, genuine as you can possibly get it. If you didn't watch that video, you're going to watch it right now, and as soon as this video is over, we'll bring Phil on. So here is the video. It's a little choppy when I recorded it for some reason, but you'll get it. But if you haven't seen the video for Phil, of the Bengals announcing Phil as the 2022 Cincinnati Bengals Fan of the Year, very emotional. Try not to cry, and try. I dare you. Watch.
We're about to welcome superfan Phil Amrein here into the Bengals studio. He's coming in to shoot some fake holiday promos, but what Phil doesn't know is that Zach Taylor is actually going to surprise him, present him with a game ball, and let him know that he's the 2022 Bengals Fan of the Year. But first, we're going to mess with him a little bit and have fun with these promos. Big old smile, yeah. It looks janky, but it's going to look great in post here. Like as if you're posing at the mall, looking at the camera. Say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. You need me to sing? Santa baby, slip a Lombardi underneath the tree.
This is for German fans overseas.
Oh Tannenbaum, on the seventh day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 7 boomers slinging.
All right, this one we're saying Merry Christmas in a couple of different languages, just directly at the camera.
Joyeux Noel, Feliz Navidad.
All right, this last one is Swedish. Jag är hungrig.
Jag är hungrig.
Perfect. Love it. Let me take a couple of photos. I'm just gonna peek my head out the door here to see if this other fan's making it. Hey, Zach.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
How are you? I'm always fabulous. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Good to have you here. We're here to record some holiday messages.
Absolutely. Are you going to sing with me?
Well, you know that this is all a lie.
No.
Yeah. So we got this letter, okay? It says, Dear Mr. Brown, I am nominating the love of my life, my husband of 35 years, Phil Amrein, for Bengal Fan of the Year. He is absolutely the most loyal, dedicated, positive, and always upbeat fan of the team that you could ask for. He always speaks in a positive manner, no matter what the score says. Loyalty is a gift, and he is loyal at all times. And so, of course, in Bengals fashion, you get a game ball, 1 of 1, for the 2022 Bengals Fan of the Year.
Oh my God! Thank you so much.
You bet.
I'm blown away, guys. Thank you. I don't know what to say. Thank you to the Brown family. Thank you so much, everyone. I don't know what to say. This is really, really cool. I'm absolutely blown away. Oh my God! Thanks, you guys. You guys really pulled this off.
Yeah.
So if you didn't tear up a little bit, man, there's something wrong with you, man. When Coach Taylor started reading that letter from Shelly, Phil's wife, man, it grabbed me there. But let's do it. Let's introduce the 2022 Cincinnati Bengals Fan of the Year, Phil Amrein. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
You know what? I got a little teary-eyed again, I have to tell you.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how many times you watch that video now until the end of the year. You're going to feel the same way every single time you watch that video. I promise you that, brother. Hey, congratulations, man. It had to be. So I don't even know where to start with this. Phil, James, you want to kind of kick this off for us a little bit?
No, it certainly was exciting. You know, just like when Jimmy was announced, I didn't think you had no clue. Obviously, that was pretty clear when Coach Taylor came in. But backing up a little bit, when you were doing the Christmas carols and the Christmas skits with Who Day and all that, did you have any inclination, man, this doesn't seem right? What the heck are we doing down here?
No, honestly, I was completely floored. They told me I was going to do some Christmas spots for the internet. My ticket girl, Allie, said, hey, listen, some people backed out. Can you help us out? And I said, sure, I'll help you out. My wife volunteered to come to work the store for us. And I made my way down there. And they said, well, you're going to sing. I said, I really can't sing. And they said, don't worry, we'll blend you in with a couple other people. And then I looked at my watch and I'm thinking, man, I got to get back to the store. And I had absolutely no clue until the coach said, hey, you're the fan of the year. And then I still didn't believe it.
Very, very cool experience. We're happy for you. Longtime season ticket holder, been around. The one thing that really struck out to me was, well, first of all, the lovely letter that your wife wrote, but staying positive. And as a Bengals fan, we've had our ups and downs, and there's been a lot of downs over the years. What has helped you stay so positive during your 30 plus years of Bengals fan?
I always tell people there's only 32 in the world, and my hometown has one. We were out in Oakland a couple years ago for Oakland's last season as a NFL city, and a guy started giving me crap about how bad our team was. And my reply to him was, next year I'm going to have a bad team and you're not going to have a team. And I didn't mean that in a mean way, but I understood how valuable it is to have an NFL team. And my little hometown has one.
That's awesome.
Jimmy?
Tom? Go ahead, Tom.
Now, Phil, I mean, for all of us, and you're a longtime season ticket holder, there's that moment, that game, that memory where it just clicks. And whether it was Riverfront or then when it was known as Paul Brown Stadium and now Paycor, that special moment or game or emotion that hooks us and brings us in as Bengal fans and keeps us through the bad time and the good. What was it for you?
You know, it was actually the first time I went to a game. My grandfather took me. 1970, we played the Houston Oilers. It was a close game. We didn't win, but when there's 55, 60,000 screaming fans, and you're going, holy moly, this is really cool. And I just love football. And that was just incredible. I was hooked. How could you not be?
Understand completely.
Here, the Bengals in the NFL, from the AFL to the NFL. That's awesome, Phil. Mark?
So again, congratulations, Phil. It was nice meeting you on Sunday. And I just have to ask, my favorite part of the video is when Zach Taylor says, this is all a lie. And you said, no. And you kind of looked. At that moment, what was going through your mind?
I really didn't know. It was a complete left turn. And I didn't really know what to think. Am I not going to sing with him? Am I going to sing with him? Are we just going to throw everything out and I go home? I really had no clue.
They're probably going to use some of those promos things you did for Christmas. You're going to see it played in the stadium throughout the year now for the rest of the year.
Well, there's a lot you didn't see that they taped with me singing, and I have to tell you, it's not pretty.
Oh yeah. I hope they play it during in the stadium. So all right, everybody that's watching right now, we want to get to know Phil and his family a little bit better. So any questions you want to ask Phil, throw them out there. He said he's good till like midnight tonight. So as many questions you want to fire out at Phil, let's do it. But we have some pre-planned questions that I wanted to ask. And Phil, let's talk about this, because this is a big thing in Cincinnati, because it's not about where you went to college. It's where the hell you graduate high school. Did you go to high school here in Cincinnati, Phil?
You know where I went. I went to Cincinnati Elder, the Panthers.
Damn purple pansies. Gosh damn it.
Hey,
you played football there, right?
For a short period, I got hurt, and that was that. But you know how we are. We're very loyal, thick and thin.
That's right.
And so that's probably the root of my loyalty.
Hey, you know what? So just to let everybody know, back-to-back years, West Siders winning. I grew up in the Western Hills, Westwood area, live still on the West Side. Phil lives down in the Ross area. So still West Side, brother. So glad we're holding it down. We got to figure out who we want to get to next year for that West Side trio there, the hat trick there. So let's keep going. Let's keep going here. Let's talk about this right here. Phil, what do you do for a living?
My wife and I own Amrein Diamonds, a jewelry store in the Northgate area. We've been there for about 26 years. So basically, if anybody comes to the store and says they watched the show tonight and saw you on Talking Football with Bengal Jim and Friends, they get about a 15% discount on anything they order? Oh, we'll take very good care of them, I assure you.
Great answer. All right, let's keep going. This is something. Let's talk about. Okay, in college, I got a call from your roommate today in college. I don't know if you remember Steve Caminiti. I know you're shaking your head right now. So I'm going to keep it. There he is, Steve Caminiti. I'm going to keep it to PG-13. Nothing bad here. So, did you work at Scotty's during college?
I worked at Scotty's during high school, college, and afterwards. I love the place. I was just down there with my wife not long ago. It's a Cincinnati institution. It's incredible. If you've not been to Scotty's Italian Restaurant, go 919 Vine Street, 721-9484. I still remember the damn phone number.
But it's crazy because, like, you look on the outside, this is kind of a shady looking place. It is one of the best Italian restaurants you'll ever go to. It's an awesome place. And Phil, no joke there. That's something you guys got to get to if you haven't been there. So I got that from Caminiti, by the way. If you get mad at Steve. So.
I'll see him on Monday.
All right, cool. Let's talk about your all-time favorite player, Phil. There's going to be one. It's tough.
Timmy Crumry for the Cincinnati Bengals. Timmy Crumry, no doubt. The blood and guts guy, drafted way down there. Just played. He would have played with a broken leg in that Super Bowl. You know that.
Yeah.
He's my all-time favorite.
Hey, James, you okay going to some of the viewer questions? You want me to stop?
Nope. Yeah, you're good. And then we can kind of mix back in. So this is from our buddy Augie in New York. He's going to be back in January. You mentioned, I think it was even on the bio that you do a tailgate and have been doing one for quite some time. If somebody's scrolling around Paycor Stadium, what lot do you tailgate in?
We are in Lot A, the southwest corner. The title of it's Jerry's Jungle Land. I've been tailgating with Jerry since the stadium opened, but he had his thing going before I got there, he and his wife, Shelly. And we put on one huge tailgate, and everyone's welcome. We don't say no until we run out of food.
Any particular traditions, at Bengal Jim's at 11:15, he does a keg stand, just pops up there and does a keg stand. You got any traditions over there in Lot A that you guys do?
Well, first of all, before anybody gets a drink, we do a toast to our fallen tailgaters. Big Brian, Bob, and Kansas City Ed, who was a gentleman from Kansas City who passed away at the game, who attended our tailgate and got a ticket from us a couple of years ago. And of course, once every half an hour, I play the Bengals fight song, sing it, and in a very animated fashion.
Nice. You talk about the road trip, and your answer to that Oakland fan was perfect. We mentioned a little bit earlier on the show. You've been to numerous Super Bowls. Is there a particular away stadium that you enjoy visiting and watching the Bengals play?
I've got quite a few. I like going to Pittsburgh, believe it or not. I'm treated like a king. We tailgate with the same group of people every year. I do like Tennessee. Denver, we have the same group of people we tailgate. I don't know if you remember the old barrel guy who wore that. And then the gentleman now wears the top hat. We tailgate with them every year. They call us and say, "Are you coming?" Green Bay's a fun town to go to.
Yep. I think Brandon from Portsmouth's asking a question. Your 140 plus road games, what's the most memorable road game you had?
Well, currently it's only 106.
Okay.
Only.
Wow. There's so many. I'm trying to think of one good one. How about the Kansas City AFC Championship game last year? That was remarkable. And you know what the favorite part of that game was? I'm a big Brown family supporter. After the game, we went down to the railing and watching Mike Brown smile and receive the trophy. For a man his age to finally get a little hoochbah for himself, it was awesome.
You mentioned, and I agree, that was great to see him. Our buddy Mon from Florida, who's got a competing mustache with you and I, Phil. We'll have to do a 3-screen and see who's got the best and let the fans vote. Maybe we'll put that on social media, Jimmy, for a poll question this week. Who's got the better mustache, Phil, James, or Mon? But you mentioned the away stadiums that you enjoy visiting. Any one that you dislike? I had the opportunity to go to the old Oakland Stadium, and man, that's God bless that stadium, but it was a dump. Is there anyone that stands out of maybe the fans? Although most fans, 99% of them are great. Is there a stadium that you just look at and say, man, that place is terrible?
Well, the old San Diego Stadium was also a Soviet era type building. That was terrible. Oakland was terrible. The first time we went to Buffalo, we were challenged, but every time after that, we've been treated like kings. So that's it. Oakland and San Diego were terrible, and thank God they're gone. The old St. Louis Stadium was bad. The old Dallas Stadium was bad. The acoustics in the new Atlanta Stadium are horrible. I mean, you can't understand what the ref's saying or anything like that. But other than that, I like the stadium.
And they have a DJ playing the whole time that there's not a play going on. But I do appreciate Arthur Blank and his $2 hamburgers and $1
Cheap
fountain
pizza,
drink.
cheap beer, all the pop you can drink. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Our buddy Greg, who congratulated you a little bit earlier, asked, "Who's your favorite obscure Bengal?"
Oh,
I'm going to go way back. And he's obscure to a lot of the young kids because they don't remember Horst Muhlmann. And I'll tell you why. I played for an all-star football team when I was in grade school, and it was called the Western Athletic Association. And Horst Muhlmann came to our practice and was one of the nicest guys you'd ever met.
Western AA.
Western AA.
Jimmy, you weren't allowed on that. He said it was an all-star team. We know you weren't being a West Sider. You didn't get a sniff of that team, right?
Dude, we were on the team above the Western AA. We were better than that.
Whatever.
Tom, you got anything you would like to add on the Horst Muhlmann comment that Phil had?
Just a couple of stories. Horst was a very good kicker. He was not the first, but one of the first soccer-style kickers that ushered in that era. But there was one game, I believe the Bengals played up at the Rams, and Horst had a day. He missed 3 or 4 field goals. It might have even been more than that. And Paul Brown, when it came time to talk to the press, looked at him and just said something to the effect of, "You were there. You saw it. You don't need me to talk about it," and walked away. The other one was because, Horst being a soccer player from Europe and not when he came knowing all that much about the NFL, there must have been a team, and I'll need to go back. I've read about it in a book. Horst did not like contact. And this team, every kickoff must have sent 1 or 2 guys after him, hoping to plaster him. And Horst was running out of bounds. Horst was backpedaling. It's not good. The other one is from Bob Trumpy's book. Horst had a very thick German accent and got ribbed a lot by his other players. So a couple of the guys one day at training camp at Wilmington evidently, made it so he couldn't get out of his room, holding the door, and he's yelling at him to help him. And they said, Horst, we can't do anything. It's, the door is stuck. And he told them he had to go tinkle, that they absolutely had to open the door. And they, Horst, there's nothing we can do. We're going to try and get some help for you. And then they didn't hear anything. They couldn't hear anything. And they started knocking on the door. They said, "Horst, what are you doing?" And they could hear the inevitable sound that you hear at that point. He'd taken a drawer out of the drawers in there and used that for his toilet. So they open up the door to check on him, and they see this. He's red-faced. He marches down to Paul Brown's office to tell him that some of his big bully football players had locked him in his room when he had to go tinkle. And PB was able to keep a straight face.
All right.
When Phil mentioned Horst, that was my first thought of that. But Phil, speaking of kickers, though, with the kicker we have now, you liked Horst Muhlmann. Who's your all-time favorite Bengal kicker?
Well, Mac's going to be there, I'm sure. But Chris Barr.
Oh, wow. That's going back.
I'm old, dude.
Here's another fan question. We'll leave it at Chris Barr. Paul asks, the sign behind you, how many miles are on it?
Well, the sign, if you can't see it, says the Jungle Mobile Unit. And I had to fill out a form for the NFL and trying to figure out exactly how many miles. I think it's over 100,000 miles that we've traveled and by going to London and all the other places back and forth. So probably 100,000 miles.
That's
impressive.
That's damn
impressive. Cool. Here's another one from our buddy, the Crypt Keeper. Cleveland Stadium, bad or worst ever?
Municipal was bad, but it wasn't as bad as Oakland and San Diego.
Okay. So
Interesting.
bottom three, our buddy Dalton from out in the great state of Washington asked Kingdom, was that ever on your stadium tour?
I missed that one. I've been to Seattle 3 times, but not the Kingdome.
All right.
And the new stadium, by the way, is not as loud as they like you to think it is.
Agree with that, Phil. We've been there a couple times.
All righty. Jimmy, back to you.
So Phil, I guess I do have to give. I think you and I talked about this earlier. I think this is something good to talk about. So I remember last year when they announced me at the stadium, and I just remember the first thing I thought of. I mean, literally, I kid you not, the first thing I thought of as I'm crying, man, all the tens and thousands of fans that support this team, and I am fan of the year. I felt some pressure. Phil, I know you and I talked about that a little bit today. Talk about what you felt, man, and how you felt. What feelings are going through your mind as they announced you as the fan of the year?
I was in total shock, and I wanted to call my wife, but they told me not to go tell her in person. And then later that day, the enormity hit me that, wow, there are 60,000 fans every weekend, and thousands of people could have been chosen. But now it's on me to represent the city, the fans, and the Bengals in a most positive light. And the pressure is, as you know, not small.
Dude, we're happy as hell for you, buddy. You've been a season ticket holder how long again? 30 years?
This is our 30th season.
Okay. Your first game was 1970, season ticket holder this would be your 30th year. The road games, man, I'll tell you what, man, there's so many deserving fans. I know exactly how you felt, brother. And I'm happy for you. And at some point you will get a lot of people watching are going to hunt you down. They want to take pictures with you. And as nice as Phil is, his wife, Shelly, is much nicer, way prettier than Phil, no doubt. But everybody, that's why you're going to love this guy and his family. And he's loyal, loves Cincinnati, loves the Cincinnati Bengals. And we're happy as hell for you. But I do got to ask you a question. I didn't prep you for this one at all. It's not too crazy, but we started seeing some pictures maybe 4 or 5, 6 days before on social media of people holding that football. And it got leaked, and people were asking me, is this really the fan of the year? And I was like, man, I don't think so. I can't imagine that being leaked out, one of those things. So I know you have that ball. So show everybody that football and tell them the story and how that thing got leaked and just give a little scoop to everybody.
Well, they told me it was okay. And I feel like I'm 15 years old again. So we had some friends from New Jersey who we call our Jersey kids. They came in, they adopted the Bengals about 12 years ago, and we met them in a parking lot down at Lot A. And they drove in and they said, let's go to Jeff Ruby. I said, okay. So we went to the new restaurant. And I have to tell you, I had to take the ball with me because we were celebrating Shelly and I's anniversary and also winning fan of the year. I just couldn't. I bubbled out and I took it with me. I'm sorry. It was so exciting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what's interesting, like when they announced mine last year, it was just a couple days. Well, you got it. You had to hang on to that way longer than I ever did. So I'm glad they didn't give me any more days to have to keep that on the DL.
And I'm glad, we see all the Bengals free agent signings that come into town celebrated at Jeff Ruby's. Our fan of the year goes to the best steakhouse in Cincinnati and celebrates. So kudos to you, Phil. Question on those season tickets. What we know Jimmy's in 158. Tom's too good to hang out with us. He's on the other end of the stadium. Where's what section you in, Phil?
We sit in section 231, row 2. We also have seats in 132, row 1, and then section 231, row 5. But we
so do you move around, or is that 230?
We sit in there where we are. We have 4 children, 7 grandchildren, and the idea was to buy season tickets so they would all come with us. Well, then they had kids, and they got married. So we have to disseminate our tickets some way.
Gotcha.
So
Tom, you have any other questions?
Yeah, if I'm Phil, what I'm doing is sitting down low early in the year, and the shit gets cold, man. I'm going up to the club and maybe those nicer cushion seats.
We're not in the club section. We're outside.
Okay, all right.
Remember where the old Pepsi bottle used to be?
Yeah.
We're just to the fence of that. We're on this side of it, corner of the end zone, and I want to sit outside. That's the way football is meant to be played, not in a dome. We're in the sun. I love it. The coolest game was when we played the Patriots a couple of years ago, and it started raining so hard. And the harder it rained, the louder people cheered. It was one of the most exhilarating games I think I've ever been to. That was a fun time.
Yeah, hey, it's funny. We were talking about that not that long ago. Remember, it was kind of overcast and cloudy, but it rained a little bit. But when Tom Brady walked out with under 2 minutes to go, like God said, let a monsoon hit in Cincinnati. And literally the clouds opened up as soon as Tom Brady took one step on that field. And I think Pac-Man got that interception about the 5-yard line or something. I remember just drenched, water dripping down my face, just looking around saying, this is awesome.
It was great.
It was great. Great stuff. So give us a scoop, man. What anything else that you're allowed sharing about what you think's going to happen, or anything the rest of the year, what they got planned for you? Anything you're able to share?
They said I'm going to the Super Bowl. That's all I know. But we were already going. We didn't have tickets, but we're excited. I have to tell you, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. My wife and I are coming down, and we're so excited to take the torch that you have burned so bright and go forth.
Well, brother, Tom, did you have one more for him?
No, I just wanted to congratulate him. Certainly a sensational pick by the Bengals. And Phil, one thing, whether you're from the east side, the west side, whether you sit in the south end zone or in the north end zone, loudest part of the stadium, but, we all want the same things. If we have the gear on, if we have the stuff hanging from our walls, if we all worry about Joe Burrow staying healthy, we all want the same things. We want the team secure and here because it's ours. We want not just one, we want multiple Super Bowls. We want an era of dominance for the Bengals. There is nothing in this city or this region that can bring everybody together like when it's pro football team, the Cincinnati Bengals are winning and playing well. And they've got, in my view, a foundation to do just that, dominate for an era. And not just that, but they have first-class people on the team and certainly running it. So, and they've chosen a first-class fan to represent us all this year. So congratulations. Enjoy every second of it.
Thank you so much. And everything you said is absolutely true. And that's how I feel.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, Phil, one more thing before we let you go here. Talk about your expectations for the second half of the season, buddy.
I see us going 6-2. I think Kansas City and Buffalo are going to be the toughies. And then we make the playoffs as a wild card, hopefully get that first home game and just duplicate last year, make a run for it.
I think every Bengal fan would take exactly that, Phil. So, Phil, man, I just want to say thank you so much for being part of it. Go ahead.
I want to give Phil a chance to earn some brownie points. So when I think
Uh-oh.
about all the wonderful things I'm able to do with Jim and the tailgate and Bengals, it's only because I have an amazing support staff and an amazing wife who not only deals with me, but actually likes the Bengals and cheers for the Bengals. And I've dragged her to where she's a fan. So I just want to give you a chance to expound on, your support system that allows you to travel to all these games and all the fun stuff that you're able to do.
Well, my wife, as Jim has met her, is absolutely fabulous. Without her letter, I wouldn't be here. So that's the first step. She loves going to games. She pulls more than her weight doing the tailgates. We have a big party every year called Bengal Fest that we host with our friends, the Rices, at our house. It's huge. And the work that goes in. My wife lets me do more than most guys' wives let them do. I have no doubt to go as many games as I've been to, and that she comes with me, and to tailgate. It takes two, man, or there'll only be one.
Yeah. That's great. That's a great point, Phil. Well, brother, look, we are so damn excited for what you're getting ready to go through. And the only thing I can tell you, man, just it was life-changing for me last year, Phil. It really was. And the cool thing about it, there's only one thing I'm going to ask you to do. I need you to bring home a winner this year in the Super Bowl, bro. I failed to do it. I just need you to be the good luck charm that gets us back to the Super Bowl and brings it home, brings that Lombardi home.
Well, I got to tell you, I'll tell you the story some other time. I carry a $2 bill with me for luck. And for Mike Brown's birthday last year, my daughter, who's a professional card maker, made a card for Mike's birthday, and the Bengals were picked to win 4 games. So I sent him this card, and I said, Mr. Brown, for your birthday, I wish you a Lombardi trophy. And I told him my grandfather was the vice president of the First National Bank of Cincinnati and always gave out $2 for bills for luck. So I'm enclosing a $2 bill, and we can exchange it, and you can give the luck back to me after the Super Bowl. And so after we won in Kansas City, my wife looked at me and she says, oh my God, do you think he's got that $2 bill with him? I said, God, I hope so. I hope he didn't leave it on his desk when he went to LA.
We got to find out.
So anyway, I'm going to send this $2 bill here to Zach this week so we can make a run. And let's do it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm poised. I'm ready.
I can't wait.
Absolutely.
Well, Phil, brother, we appreciate it. Everybody in Houday Nation so excited and so proud for you to represent us this season, man, and just enjoy every minute of it. Just have fun with it. And I'm telling you, you're going to be pulled in a lot of different directions. You need to hire another employee for the store so you can get some free time to go out and do some stuff. So,
do I get that bodyguard you have?
Yeah, James is signing over that new deal contract for that bouncer to you. So a bodyguard. So I think we'll hook up with you this week. So brother,
we'll be expecting the Bengals Fest invites in the mail coming shortly.
Yeah,
it is an elite list, and you guys all be on it.
We might not make the cut, Mark. Who knows? But Phil, hey, tell Shelly thanks for helping set up everything to get you on here live tonight, and we appreciate it, brother. And just have fun with every interview, every fan you see. Keep that smile and just be you the whole rest of the year, brother. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right,
man. Houday, man.
Thanks, Phil. Appreciate it, buddy.
Houday, man. What a great dude, man.
Awesome.
Fan of the year.
It's getting to know Phil tonight. Hope everybody enjoyed that piece of it. I thought that was a really cool thing. So
yeah, and thank you to all the viewers with the great questions. As we said from day one, by the fans for the fans, and appreciate all the fans asking the fan of the year their questions. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, let me just real quick give everybody what Phil was talking about. There's a show tomorrow night. It's every Wednesday, WKRC Local 12. It's called Bengals Nation. There's always 3 to 5 players down there. It's 6 to 8 o'clock at the Over the Rhine Eatery, which is the Kroger building. It has a bar in there. It's a second floor. It overlooks Over the Rhine. A bar in there. A bunch of restaurants. There will be dozens and dozens of Bengal fans in there, and that's what Phil was talking about. So if you guys aren't doing anything tomorrow night from 6 to 8 o'clock, I will be hosting that event. Fulcher couldn't make it. Ryan, the other host, couldn't make it. So I'll be hosting that tomorrow night down at the Over the Rhine Eatery, 6 to 8 o'clock. Tons of food and drink, tons of giveaways, guys. I'm talking tons of giveaways. So come on down and join us. It's going to be a fun night tomorrow night. So what else we got? We got a bunch of stuff to hit here in the last 10 minutes. Let's go ahead and do On the Mark. We didn't get a chance to do that, Mark. So let's kind of tee this up a little bit, kind of the On the Mark here. So like a 4-minute segment.
All right. So this week we show, the stuff from the Folding tournament. It was a really good time. It's always fun hanging out with the Bengals crew. And then also I just added some pictures of the first 9 weeks, some of my favorites, some videos of just the first 9 weeks of the tailgates and some of the things that happened in the away games.
Oh, here we go, brother. On the Mark. This week's On the Mark.
Everybody look at this mark up here. Get on this video right here. I need everybody looking up here. We're going to do a hooray chant. Let's do a hooray chant here. 1, 2, 3. Hooray! 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 They gonna beat them Bengals. Hooray! 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 They gonna beat them Bengals.
Oop, you're muted, Jimmy. But thank you, Mark, for recapping not only the great charity event Sunday, spearheaded by Tony, Jimmy, and Caleb, but recapping the season. It's the first 9 weeks have flown by, and second half now it's time to get serious and make that playoff run. Anything in particular that stands out to you, Mark, from the first 9 weeks?
I really enjoyed seeing all the away fans. It means a lot that someone from Germany or England cares about a team in Cincinnati, and just hearing their stories and how they became fans, that always makes me happy, and seeing them put their pin. And, in the past, obviously, we've had some rough times. So, some friends that I've known online that got to come over, I was really excited that they got to see us smash the Falcons and then smash the Panthers. That was really exciting as well. So, like I said, I knew one guy who had been here 8 times and we had lost 7 and drew 1. So he got his first win this year. That's things like that, just puts a smile on my face.
Gosh, who invited him back? Man, oh man!
Surprised they let him in the country. Huh?
That guy needed a slump buster. He must have had to the brass ass before that game and got over it.
And I'll also say that real quick that going back and thinking, seeing all these wonderful memories, I thought about how this all started. And actually, I knew Jim on social media for a little bit. We actually met for the first time last year at the what was that? It was the pub crawl. And I was just taken back by all the charity events you guys do. It really meant a lot. So I told Jim, I can donate my time, whatever you need. And he said, we need some help setting up game days. And that's really how it started. And from there, I've got to meet Elizabeth Blackburn. I've got to meet Willie Anderson. But that really pales in comparison to the amazing people, James, Tom, Mark and Lisa, the cookie girl. It's like a little family, a Caleb, Brandon and his wife, their baby. It's just like, I get excited to see them every week. So I just want to say thank you to Jim and the whole crew.
Nah, man, it is, man. It's our Bengal family, brother. I'm with you on that. So we got a couple more minutes here. We want to hit on a little bit more the second half of the season, man. Tom, what has to happen? We got to get to 10 wins. That's the magic number. 9, flip the coin, right? 10 is the number we need to get to. What has to happen for us to
I don't think 9 does it. Our tiebreaker situation does not look good, at least as of right now. But, so many things can change. You never know how you're going to hit a team, their week. Are they going to be hurt? Are you going to be hurt? Are you not going to be at your best? And just like Sunday, the Steelers are probably the weakest team they have had in 20 years, but they're still dangerous. They're still at home. They still have TJ Watt. I'm not worried about the second half as a whole. All we can worry about is Sunday. The only thing we can do this week is beat the Steelers. TJ Watt is back. But on the other hand, I think our offensive line will be much better than it was week 1. So it comes down to that: block, tackle, cover, and protect number 9, and he'll get it done. But it will not be easy Sunday at all. I wish we were completely healthy. I wish we had Jamar Chase. Doesn't look like we're going to get him back till Kansas City. But, just go up there and win. We are the better team. Just go up and win. I don't think there's that big a magic formula. If there's one guy to watch, we have to see how Cordell Volson does against Cam Hayward. Week 1, and understandably so, the rookie had his bad moments against a future Hall of Famer. But he hung in there and played tough. He keeps getting better. He's hit some peaks and valleys. He keeps getting better. These next 3 weeks, he's going to go through the gauntlet. But, Sunday his job is to keep Cam Hayward from coming on the inside and bothering the guy on your T-shirt.
That's true.
Talking about that next game, Tom, Augie brings this up. We know T.J. Watt was a thorn in our side week 1, but I thought Minkah Fitzpatrick probably had one of his better games of his career that week 1. He appears to be out, which again,
I'm glad Augie sent that because I've heard he was out. Then I got a couple. I didn't have a whole lot of chance to look at football today, but I got messages today that now the Steelers he's gone to doubtful and he's talking like he's going to play. So I don't know if he's absolutely certainly out or not. I'm not one of those guys that roots for injuries. I think the game is at its best when we can watch our stars, even if it's the team we're playing against that week. But certainly the Steelers are a lot weaker without him. He's very, very special. But when we played Cleveland, they were down in their secondary when we didn't have Jamar, and it didn't matter. So it's just, I think it is completely in the Bengals' hands, and it's up to them. And it starts Sunday. Go up and kick the living crap out of those bastards. They deserve it.
And one thing we thought we would have some clarification on, especially coming off the bye week, the rumor was it was going to be made today, is our punting situation. Will we have a new punter for the second half of this year? Nothing announced today. Do you think that, and love the Gold Star milkshake there, Tom. For those that don't know, Gold Star milkshakes are back. Tom has a vanilla one there. But that punter situation moving forward, what's your thoughts on that, Tom?
My first thought is who makes Evan McPherson more comfortable holding. That's first. But second, Kevin Huber, we all love Kevin Huber. He's our most tenured Bengal. He's played more games than even Ken Anderson and Ken Riley did. He's struggled this year. The punting unit has struggled. The special teams has struggled. First time in a long time we have not had a strong special teams. I don't know what Darren Simmons' thoughts are. My understanding from everything I read and everything I hear and the people that we talk to that we know through the show here is that the call is his. And it's late in the day Tuesday. If they haven't made the decision by first thing tomorrow, I don't think they're going to make a change. But something is not right. I don't know what it is. Certainly he can still put the ball inside the 10-yard line, unlike any Bengal punter ever. He's the greatest punter in Bengal history. He's a Pro Bowler. He's special. But what serves the team best right now? Drew Crispin or Kevin Huber? Sounds like they've been splitting, if not maybe Crispin getting a little bit more of a look down at the stadium since they've come back from the bye. But if they haven't done it by now, Jimmy, they don't do it by first thing tomorrow morning, I don't think they're going to do it.
Right. I agree with you. I agree on that. Yeah. At some point we'll hear the story behind this down the road because something's not right. So, all right, let's go and close this thing out. James, you want to get us started?
Yeah, just it was kind of weird not having a game to watch this past weekend. Excited to get the second half of the season started. Thank you again to everybody that attended the bowling tournament. I'm going to pull this banner up one more time. $70,681 raised thus far. Again, thank you to Tony, you, the fans, everybody that's made this possible. We appreciate it. Our goal was 75. Hopefully we'll smash right through that and keep going. For those that asked, and Jimmy mentioned it, Saturday night there will be a get-together. We've gotten a lot of DMs on social media about a tailgate Sunday. The get-together will be Saturday night. The next tailgate will be in Nash Vegas before the Titans game, in addition to a get-together Saturday night. So bring your drinking and party shoes for those that are going to Nash Vegas in 2 weeks. But first, as Tom said, one game at a time. Let's get through the game this week and, get that 6th win and get to the magic number of 10 and maybe we go past that. Mark?
Yeah, I'm super excited for the rest of the season. This bye week was a nice, to recharge the batteries. But I'm extremely ready. Looking at the schedule, obviously we play at Pittsburgh, but it kind of lands a little weird. We're 2 away, 2 home, 2 away, and then 2 home. Our next home game isn't until December 4th. So what I'm really looking for more than anything is for us to be a physical team. I feel the games that we've lost this year, teams have kind of just punched us in the mouth and we haven't responded. I really enjoyed seeing us run the ball the way we did in our last game. So I hope that can continue. And to me, that will be the biggest key. Obviously, it's a passing league, but when you can run the ball, it makes your offensive, it's very hard to stop. Similar to how Cleveland plays. Every time we play Cleveland, they run the ball on us, and that makes everything else go. So I'm looking forward to us to being a more physical team on the offensive and defensive line with Big Reed coming back, thankfully.
Yeah, no question about that. Having DJ Reader back is a monstrous importance. I think, may not be most valuable. I think he's the most important player on our defense, and it's going to be big to have him back. He makes so many other guys better just by being there. He's very important. But, yeah, there's nothing else. The Steelers seem to be a little confident. They're playing much better. They certainly got after the Saints last week. Thanks, Andy. And, but we'll roll into town. James and Jimmy will be taking charge of the Steel City and getting ready for the following week where after we beat the Titans, James has guaranteed he will make Bengal Jim two-step. So we'll look forward to that. But right now the focus is only on Pittsburgh. So let's not get ahead of ourselves, and we'll figure up a proper victory celebration Sunday. But you guys be safe and enjoy yourself up there. And don't look any of them in the eye. They don't like that. But don't be safe. So. Jimmy, take us home.
Oh, geez. Love Tom. Should have Tom close these things out. He's the best at it. I guess we talked about DJ Reader being back. It's a big get. That's a big addition to the team as well. Happy birthday, Tyler Boyd. Today's T. Boyd's birthday. Want to also say again, congratulations to Phil, man. I'm just so excited for him. He's in for the ride of his life as a sports fan. He's going to have a hell of a year, and he's going to have fun with this. Saturday in the city near West Virginia, we will be at the Tequila Cowboy, probably around 5-ish, 5:30, somewhere around there. But we'll be at the Tequila Cowboy Saturday night. Join us. We may have several hundred Bengal fans there, maybe more, Saturday night joining us. I would also like to thank everybody that participated in the tournament. We had 30 teams. We had about 100 people there total. That if they weren't participating in the tournament, they were actually buying raffles. Total raised $2,500 for League for Animal Welfare. So very awesome event, and we appreciate everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Second half of the year, guys. The team will need us on the road and at home as loud as we can. Be positive as much as you can, and let's get these boys back home and get a dub. Win some. He got the toilet paper. Tom's got the toilet paper. That's why it was a little late pregame on the show here tonight. Use half that roll. But
Cincy shirts.
Congratulations to Cincy shirts. They got the likeness right. Well, way to go, guys.
That's right. Well, we appreciate everybody. We'll see you again next Tuesday. We got some big guests popping up here soon, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night down at WKRC Bengal Nation, down at the OTR Eatery at Kroger's, 6 to 8 o'clock. We'll see you next week. Good day, everybody.